You touched on something really powerful there, perceiving.
Breathe deeply and talk right into that so they can hear you.
I will. Thank you. When you said you are the perceiver of your reality, that really touched me well because...
Let's use another word, translator.
Yes. Creator is awesome. That's what we're trying to do, is create things or create things within ourselves. Feelings.
You create it. Step 1, step 2, step 3. Step 1 is contrast causes you to ask for it. That's really the creation point. Step 2 is source focuses upon it and becomes the vibrational equivalent of it, and law of attraction gathers everything that is vibrationally compatible to it and is calling you to. But step 3, that perceptual, getting on the vibe of it so that you can translate it in to the physical equivalent. That's what you're talking about. That's what we're talking about.
Oh, I thought you meant more just perceiving what everything is out there that you can relate to, which might be part of this anyway, and appreciating everything that's there and its permanence or greatness, that you don't really need to worry about anything that's bad out there because there's lots of stuff over here that's really
all
good.
of that is true, and we've been talking with you all about that for quite some time. But what we really think it is time for you to grasp is that there are cars and mates and piles of money and huge empires and dreams coming true on every subject that you have been playing in that are ready for full manifestation by you. And we want you to hone in on the vibrational frequency that makes you able to see a little bit more of those things every day, every day, every day. You really wouldn't want to perceive everything that's in your vortex all at once. It would overwhelm you. It would be a little bit like Esther getting on board this ship and wanting to say to each and every one of you, hello. She wants to see you. She wants to look into your eyes. She wants to shake your hand. But there are too many of you. It is overwhelming. She can't take all of that in at once. So she just likes running into you on the elevator here and there and waving at you across the hallway. In other words, you see what we are getting at? In an environment like this, we can take you in all at once. We have the capacity to fully receive you and know you all at once, you see. And so perception is an interesting word, isn't it?
Yeah, creating reality is awesome, but when you said perceiving your reality, I thought that was even better because it just allows you to sit back and just observe everything, which is kind of the same thing anyway, creating and perceiving. It's kind of nuances of the same stuff.
What we want you to feel, let's play with this just for a little bit, because these are words and this is just semantics, but we want to make these words feelable. So think about ideas that are coming into your mind, and then think about becoming really interested in something, really interested in it. So you feel an excitement about it, an interest. There's an excitement about it. There's a stronger focus within you. It's like there are many questions that are being answered here, questions that have momentum. And so as you begin to focus there and those questions begin to be answered, then you feel a true interest about it. These are the manifestations. This is the richness of life that you're looking for, you see. So often when we talk to our friends like you about perception, or we talk about vibration, or even when we talk about the laws of the universe, these conversations don't feel direct to you. They don't feel like living life to you. It's the things that move you emotionally in a way that feels good that we want you to experience, you see. We want you to be in love with each other and with life. We want you to find interest in things. We want this life to demonstrate for you in the way that you intended for it to, all of the richness and the fullness. We want you to feel the wholeness of who you are. But in order for you to do that, you've got to do something with the vibration that's happening around you that allows you to receive the fullness of us who are always looking in with you right here, right now on whatever it is that you are focused upon. So when friends brought Esther hats that said clarity, Esther's favorite state of being, her favorite word, that feeling of clarity. That feeling of clarity, meaning that feeling of being in a frequency that is not disallowing the wholeness of who I am, so that the wholeness of who I am is there to perceive this moment in time. That's a rich life experience. Earlier today, Esther commented to her granddaughter who was sitting across the room. And Kate was really involved in something that she was doing. She was playing a game on the iPad. And one of the things that Esther loves so much about these kids is that they are so focused upon what they are doing. So focused. She was giving her undivided attention to this. And in her undivided attention, we're having a little divided attention here, aren't we? Is your attention getting divided? A little divided? In her undivided attention to what she was doing, Esther just said something softly, and Kate didn't look up. She didn't look up at all. And Esther thought, how good it is to have something that is so interesting to you that even someone sitting right in the room with you is not a distraction. Learning to focus. There is not anything more important than learning to focus, because when you focus and don't allow contradiction or even confusion or even other things that are off the wavelength, or even maybe other things that are on the wavelength that are a little different than what you're focused upon, as you learn to focus in that way, your perception, your ability to perceive is divine.
Oh yeah, for sure. That focus and power of concentration, just all in one, just feeling it and looking at a spot on the floor and just allowing it there before something needs to be created.
It's nice to look at a spot on the floor if it clears your mind and stops you from introducing clutter. But we would so much rather see you focused upon something that is really meaningful to you with non-resistance. It's the same conversation as we would rather see you in a state of appreciation than in a state of meditation. Because in either case, there's no resistance. And in appreciation, you are fully functioning and you are allowing all of the resources of you to demonstrate for you in a way that is really delicious something here and now. We're not wanting you to go sit in some quiet corner and quiet your mind and withdraw from this time-space reality. If you knew how much you wanted to be in these bodies, you wouldn't be all the time trying to get out of them. In other words, being here and being focused. But until you allow yourself the personal, hands-on, up-close, conscious, deliberate experience of focusing and feeling yourself coming further and further and further and fuller and further and fuller and further and further and fuller into vibrational compatibility with the source within you who is looking at the same equation, at the same situation, at the same house plan, at the same car plan, at the same whatever it is that you're focused upon. When you allow yourself the experience of all of that clarity being perceived by you, you know how when you say, oh, I just got the best idea. That's you tuning in to that best idea frequency or channel that's there for you all the time. This is what genius is. Genius is just attention to a subject until the fullness of who you are can be part of the conversation. Here's a good way to look at it. You hear the fun conversation, maybe it's not fun to you, but it's been fun to us as long as you've been saying it, of if a tree falls in the forest and there's no one there to hear it, did it make a sound? And we say, no. If there's no one there to hear it, it did not make a sound, because the sound is the translation of a vibration. And if there is no eardrum there to translate that frequency into something, then that manifestation did not occur. Did you follow? And so this is what the perception is that we're talking about. There is vibration all over the place, but unless there is a receiver or a perceiver of the vibration, you see,
then it's not complete. Right?
Then it actually didn't even happen. And so that's why there are 3 steps to the creative process. Step 1 is the idea flies. The idea flies, but then there is the practiced syncing up with the vibration of it, you see. We want to impart to you in a way that you can know it, how all in this together we all are. We want you to feel how when you launch those rockets because of the details of life that you are living, and Source gives attention to the attention that you've given and holds that stable vibration in a place that it is now a frequency that you can realize, that you can perceive. In other words, we hold steady those frequencies while you're not stable, while you're still shuffling around in beliefs that have been denying it for you. Did you hear the poignancy of those words? There are so many things that you desire, that you've launched the rocket of and that your Source is on. Expanded, beautiful versions of all things that you want. But your beliefs are preventing you, and your belief is just a practiced vibration. So once you launch those rockets and that practiced vibration denies it, that's when negative emotion, that's that uneasy feeling that you have. That's why we begin these gatherings by saying, do you know what you want? And are you enjoying the expansion of your desire? Because when you get to that place where it doesn't matter to you whether it is manifested, you're taking delight in the launching of the idea, because you understand that by law it must manifest if you will allow it, you see. And so that's why we've been calling these gatherings for a very long time the art of allowing, because it is an art that you learn, isn't it? You feel your way to it.
Totally.